Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and welcome back to another Aesop Frock Day. Today, we're going to be reacting to Numb to the Guns. This is suggested by Ravenous Catalyst, so thank you, Ravenous, for the suggestion. Keep them coming in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And if you guys enjoy my content, want to support me even a little bit further, we just dropped the No Shoes Gang Cypher Volume 3 today, probably an hour before this video drops. So if you have not heard that yet, go check it out. I produced it, mixed it, mastered it, spat on it myself, along with the 9 other guys we got on there. Very excited for y'all to hear it. Without any further ado, let's get right into this. Let's see what Numb to the Guns is all about. Let's see what Aesop Rock got to say. Let's get it.
Atop the news this evening.
This just in. Thanks, Bob. Due to extreme technology advancements, I'm able to report to you live here from what military officials are calling a hot zone. As you can see in here, I'm right in the middle of the battlefield. Our Pentagon regulations ask us that we are to stay towards the back of the unit. But let me see if I can bring us a little closer so you can see exactly what's going on.
Okay. Interesting. So we start off with like a Warzone news intro. Very interesting place to take it from. Got the gunshots and everything in the background, maybe some bombs. Who knows what else is going on? Let's see where they take this. I was not expecting that today.
A little closer so you can see exactly what's going on.
What I miss, 900 cc's of the raw in one fist. The bums dumb blitzed. Order in the court where the mortars chum bricks. Everybody lung on the table, this point counterpoint. Aesop has the murkiest, yet he numb out the prowler oink. And after bubblegum, he's sinking to the sofa. Clicker the pilot is broadcasted choice of Cobra. The venom remains the
nice feel on the beat. We're getting like a pretty quick loop coming through. Maybe 4 bars tops. A little bit of a vocal sample being used as an instrument, and they're going, really nice, like kind of bouncy, almost kind of funky. Got a great groove to it. Ace is pushing the flow, but he's still leaving a decent bit of space between these bars. Bring it back just a little bit.
as the murkiest, yet he numb out the prowler oink. And after bubblegum, he's sinking to the sofa. Clicker the pilot is broadcasted choice of Cobra. The venom remains the same game of stale toxins, gambled with the now ornamental satellite options. Whatever's good, I got this grave half dug with Yanni covering taps to make the pain worse than it was. Playing marbles, hit by a bus. Death is sweet, hell sucks. Sucker. Damien probably wish.
Yeah. Nice feel on the ad-libs too. Some of them directly mirroring the bar preceding them, giving almost like a layered or stuttered echo, almost kind of effect. And we also got some ad-libs that are just unique to themselves from the bar, adding a little bit of extra detail, working really well here. It's an interesting mix. I feel like Ace's vocal is a little bit closer to the beat than it normally is, and the voice he's using, you know, it's his normal voice, but there's a little bit less of that slightly piercing quality that his vocal tends to have, at least on the more recent stuff we've been listening to from him. And I don't know, maybe that's type of microphone he was using, the actual delivery coming out of his mouth itself. Lots of different options there, but great feel to this so far.
Caps to make the pain worse than it was. Playing marbles, hit by a bus. Death is sweet, hell sucks. Sucker. Damien probably wishing I donate a fuck, but this shit's chiller than any conversation I've had in months. The Iron Fang drew him all loopy. So when he extended a hand, the planet's Cujo's went Snoopy in perfect syncopation, burnt to crispy critters like synchronized swimmers in Boric rivers. Torso fritters, lick chop digging. Who dares lick a shot at pigeons? Why I oughta fast get him. He surfs it, he circus for.
And great, like bouncing back and forth between layered vocals and a more like direct, at least it feels like a single vocal coming towards you. I'm sure there's probably still some baseline layering going on, but from sections of heavy layering to very faint, almost non-perceptible layering. Really great construction here. The rhymes are nice. They're coming quick, man. He's blazing right by me with this one today.
So fritters, lick chop digging. Who dares lick a shot at pigeons? Why I oughta fast get 'em. He surfs city circuits for the power and the glory. To the cowards in the quarry, you will always blink before me. It's Doc Rock, full effect, campfire stories like I threw you.
That's great. Cowards in the quarry always blink before me. The repetition of the cat, like the k and the qua, getting the c and the q kind of simulating consonants almost. It's technically not, but it's close. And the bend just sells it the rest of the way, of course. The compound rhymes always coming through. What else can we expect at this point?
Always blink before me. It's Doc Rock, full effect, campfire stories like I threw your mama from the train for trying to front on Porkies. He finds the garbage more inspiring than the good stuff. His ink sleeps while the military look tough. Look, I'm sorry, crooked priority list, but Mr. USA up all nights, black and heart already skips. I'm about to crash this bitch to hibernate. Tell Wolf Blitzer holler at his boy when he hosts blind days. Spit on CNN and force the war back through the cable box. Where M1s are like staged props aimed at latest names dropped. So now we ignorant, right? No, we just accept the inevitable apocalyptic syllabus. Sing along,
yeah. This is beautiful. Really just breaking those bar lines, rapping past the margins, however you want to say it. He just keeps that push rolling. Of course, every so often he is giving us some nice clean beginning and ends to each bar just to mix it up, and probably because he's got to breathe at some point, right? But really beautiful delivery, clean, bouncy. It's working well with the instrumental, really giving him a lot of room to move around on this beat because it's pretty much just a loop. There have been a couple small little sections where maybe one of the instruments drops out, helps give us just a little bit of a fresh feel for a second before diving back in to what we've been listening to the whole time. But when you got bars like this over the top of it, I barely even notice that the beat's not changing all that much.
So now we ignorant, right? No, we just accept the inevitable apocalyptic syllabus. Sing along, Zuka dies of chemical poison. I'm watching Bring It On. Dag nabbit, that cat's bastard. I dead opinions and swap it out for the urges of a serpent trying to stuff it in a jam before the curtain. He's numb to the guns, right? Thanks to the tank.
And I think what you'll find is one of the big keys to the way Aesop is able to bend his rhymes so well is it's not about the consonants anymore. Obviously, he uses alliteration and consonants, not consonant, and all those different techniques. But I think when you really boil it down, one of the cores to why his rhymes work so well together, especially when some of them are so strange and so far apart, when you'd be normally speaking and saying the word, is focusing on those vowels. Ravenous mentioned that he rhymes fuck with month at some point in this track. I think we passed it already, but what I started to realize is that the O in month we actually say as a U, and if you put a U in that word, they're almost the same sound. So now you got two U type sounds matching each other, and then you take it even further from there. The shapes of the A's are like urges of the serpents. You're getting the UR and the ER basically making the same sound. So it allows a lot of flexibility in his rhymes where he's not even necessarily rhyming the word. He is rhyming the syllables within them. And it just adds a whole extra layer of what you're able to do with words at that point.
Glued to the blocks like the opposites will shake hands. Enough hell for the world's hand baskets. Enough cells for the world's hand capture. I'm to the guns. Now we touch buttons that'll reroute imagery. Yes, doggy, recognize the history. Yes, doggy, recognize the misery. I switch for element, a surprise in the mind. M16s are disco and hula hoops. Murder the fads before the fads murder you.
Yeah, nice kind of little like bridge section there in the instrumental, reincorporating that like Warzone audio that we had at the beginning. You can hear it's much fainter this time, and the explosion sounds are emulating bass drums, which is really cool because he's kind of taking the cover off for a second, because when you're making a drum kit from samples, you can use a whole bunch of different things. One of the things you can use to make a kick drum is an explosion. Now we have an explosion that's actually in the context of an explosion, but it's still filling the role of a kick drum, which again, it's another interesting bend that it's just a little bit more complex than you might typically find. Just these tiny, slight changes add so much when you add them all together.
He recognized the history. Yes, though, he recognized the misery. I switched for element of surprise and demise. M16s are disco and hula hoops. Murder the fads before the fads murder you and yours. Me and mine find TNA on TNT. Pleasing to the iris, more than TNT on DNA. Oh, morbid but important. Right? I know. Stop. More pork Mindy in this episode. Watch. POWB, buzz over the rumbling cannons and less sandwiches. Bystander analysts went through the holy fucking shit. I'm gonna die phase. Now it's well, I'm gonna die. Let's get this born sides raised. So when they ask what's your opinion on the war, I tell them.
That is great, man. The stop, the watch bars. Again, stop and watch. Do they rhyme at all? No, not really. Do they fit? 100%. And then obviously, I love it. If you've ever heard Fragile by Kendrick Lamar or by Tech Nine featuring Kendrick Lamar and a couple other people, they got some great singers on that track too. But when Kendrick raps and he goes, stop, and the whole beat stops, everything stops, then he comes back in. One of the most satisfying moments in maybe all of music right there, at least for me. And similarly here, Ace says stop, the beat stops for a second, comes back in, then watch, another pause, gives him time to breathe, creates a very satisfying moment for us because at that point, the song is doing exactly what he said for it to do. Which is, it's interesting. It's like his command over the instrumental, even though I'm sure this was probably pre-recorded before he rapped over it. But beautiful, man, beautiful.
Ask what's your opinion on the war. I tell him war sucks, donkey dick. What's the next score? Maybe it's his allergies, the horns and pitchforks. Dusk muskrat, elephant tusk jab, elegant bloodbath, legging it, egg I'm on television, pregnant, and medicine is born. Ketamine out, community dual glazed over blank white sockets. Looking for a heavy 7 Richter to shiver the crocs. Right about the options, Novocaine, blood work, spoon through the Loch Ness. Hostage, no shame, suck the fear of this muck. So when the nozzle hit his nostril, he don't give a fuck. After all, it's just like on TV around a.
And just so many different references passing by quickly, so many different topics, probably a better way to put it. You know, he goes from talking about television and pregnant to the Loch Ness monster, and I'll be honest, I have very, very little idea exactly what he's speaking about on this track right now, but it's so engaging, just that constant drive, that constant push, the slight ebbs and flows in his delivery that help give us direction. And as I've said before, I think it comes down to that there's a conversational level to his delivery. He's not only rapping, he's taking cues from just the way we speak normally to each other to guide us through the track as a listener.
Hostage, no shame, suck the fear of this muck. So when the nozzle hit his nostril, he don't give a fuck. After all, it's just like on TV around the clock. The thorns are real, the anger management is not. He's numb to the guns, thanks to the tank cams. Glued to the box like the opposites will shake hands. Enough hell for the world's hand baskets. Enough cells for the world's hand capture. Numb to the guns, right now he's.
And there's this faint, like, kind of like horn, or I don't know what it is exactly. It could be a synth or a bunch of different things, but every once in a while, just like dum, 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 just up in the top. It barely adds anything, but it like tickles my ear because it's very unique to the rest of the instrumental.
The world's hand baskets, enough cells for the world's hand capture. Come to the guns, right now we touch buttons that'll reroute symmetry. Yes, doggy, recognize the history. Yes, doggy, recognize the misery. A switch for element of surprise in the mind. Porshkovitz, double that shit. Like that. Yeah, we don't watch the war. We watch fucking bikini car wash. Shit's more amusing to me these days. Sorry if that makes me an asshole.
I can't blame him, man. Look, I'd rather watch a bikini car wash than news about the war or whatever it is they're talking about. You know, obviously it's important to be informed, but I'm still a big believer in the fact that we as human beings were never meant to know as much as we do right now on a daily basis. And maybe that's hypocritical as somebody who's posting videos on the internet and contributing to all of this. But there is just so much out there to consume that you could spend every second of every day on the internet and you would never run out of new things you could learn. You could watch the news all day. And it's just so much. I think we need to shut these screens off, man. In fact, shut your computer down right now. Turn off this video and never turn it back on.
Sorry if that makes me an asshole.
Beautiful. Nice little explosion there to really end it off for us. You got to hit that C4 key. But regardless, guys, that was Numb to the Guns from Aesop Rock. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope y'all did as well. I'll definitely be going back to this one in my own time to just dive into those lyrics and see if I can actually figure out what is happening here. But beautiful track. Thank you again to Ravenous Catalyst for the suggestion. Keep them coming in the comments down below. Check out No Shoes Gang Cypher Volume 3. It dropped today. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Much love to everybody in the No Shoes Gang, and I will see you all next time.